Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadbhaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Bhaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been looking at the orders of reality. Paramarthika, absolute or ultimate. And then we have Vyavaharika. What is Vyavaharika? The empirical reality of Nama, Rupa, Mithya. Everything that I can objectify. Everything that is finite. You touch it, it falls apart. Everything that has a beginning, everything that has an end comes in this category. Empirical reality, transactional reality, Vyavaharika Satta. This much we have seen. And we also saw this, that the Vyavaharika Satta is what? Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti means manifestation, projection of Bhagavan. Srishti is more of a abhivyakti, projection. Because there is no really creation to say as such. Because then we have the dicey problem of what is the creator-created connection. Then we have to go somewhere else. That's why we say it is a projection, which is, we gave the example of dream. So then it becomes easier to see that whatever is projected is non-different, non-separate from who? The projector. And so the world basically is Ishvara's projection. In fact, it's the manifestation of Ishvara in many, 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 many names, many, 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 many forms. We have seen that. And in fact, the status that Brahman gains in relation to the Jagat is in the form of Karana, cause. Jagat becomes what? Karya, effect. That also we have seen. And so the entire universe we see is non-separate from Ishvara. But this Ishvara-ness is manifest, is expressed in the form of universal laws. For the Hindu tradition, Ishvara is not some guy in the sky. Okay, yeah, we don't have that. It is manifest in the form of laws. Laws means there is something predictable. It can be studied. It never changes, like even the law of gravity. If the law of gravity behaved in a particular way here where I am sitting and suddenly disappeared from where you are sitting, then we cannot continue with the satsang because everybody will be flying around. Or if the law behaved differently where I am sitting, still we cannot continue because I will be flying around. But no matter, we would not be able to walk. We would not be able to build homes. Because so much, all the money that one has earned, one puts in building, buying some land and building a home. Imagine, the law of gravity decided to have its own mind. And then it did some funny things. And then what will happen? House gone, savings gone. But that doesn't happen. That means that it is predictable. If it is predictable, it is knowable. If it is predictable, you can study it, you can know it, and then I can relate to it. And the whole universe, when we talk of Ishvara, it is all these laws. We can just look at a few of them. One of them we have already seen, the law of dharma. Dharma is a law, a universal matrix of norms. I don't want to be cheated. Who says? Everybody, in their own language, in the whole world. This is what I mean by universal. It is wrong to kill. When? Any time, in any country, in any situation. Wrong to kill. Wrong to steal. Wrong to cheat. Wrong to defraud another person. This is Bhagavan manifest as the law of dharma. Wherever there is dharma, Bhagavan's presence is felt. What about adharma? That's on you. Okay, yes. Can't say, oh, Ishvara is there. Yeah, why? Because we have the free will. We have the free will to not violate this form of Bhagavan. This form of Ishvara, we have the free will not to violate. And therefore, it is there. That free will is also what? Given by Bhagavan alone. And so, the law of dharma, everywhere, wherever there are human beings, the desire not to be treated badly is there. And the mechanisms of not treating another person badly is also there. The free will to follow that is there. The conscience, the buddhi is there, which is telling us to do this. In the Kathopanishad, we have a beautiful allegory of the chariot, Ratha Kalpana. And there, the horses are seen as what? The sense organs. Why? Vishayams teshu gocharan, because they love to graze in the world of the sense objects. But if the horses are left just like that, the chariot will roll into a ditch. I have to manage the chariot. I have to have the buddhi of directing it properly. The reins are there, which are the mind, and then this is how we have to drive it on the road of dharma. This is what the Kathopanishad also iterates this. And so this is a very important manifestation of Bhagavan, which is very easy to miss. We can look at the physical order. That is also Bhagavan. We can look at the anatomical order. That is also Bhagavan. Wherever there are eyes, they see. And you can look at the puppy dog's eyes like that, innocent. You can look at the eyes of the tiger, the lion, in fact, all non-vegetarian animals, predators. And they will always be looking out because the predator is predated after some time, eaten up. So, the tiger, the lion, the shifty eyes of them, they're always watching, you can see. And the trusting eyes of the cow, gentle. And we see this. So wherever, whatever kind of eyes, and the eyes of what are they called? Alligator, crocodile. The eyes just look like that, glazed. You don't think it is seeing at all. You think this must be some piece in the museum. And nowadays, we are mad with the phones. Everybody wants to take a selfie with the crocodile. Don't, okay? Yeah. So the fellow goes close and then positions himself and takes the photo. Very interesting photo it will be. Yeah. That's when it is looking all the time. But it's not showing you that it is looking. Finish. Half the animal is teeth. Yeah. And then it just goes like that. Very strong it is. The other half is the tail. Very strong. That too is within this order. It needs to be like that to fool the prey. It needs to look like that. It needs to be like that. And this is and even those, what are they called? Boa constrictors are also like that. glazed eyes, they just sit in one place. Anything that comes, swaha, finished. In fact, that is one of the lifestyles of sadhus. Ajagara vritti it is called. Two kinds of lifestyles are allowed. One, some sadhus are like bees. They go flitting from house to house, collecting bhiksha. Or you can be like the boa constrictor, sitting in one place. Whatever is brought, swaha. But that eyes also, same thing. They see. Supposing there are eyes that don't see because of certain difficulties, there are so many problems. Cataract is there, that is reversible, but then there is, what is that one? Glaucoma is there, so many other things are there. What about then? Then isn't this an aberration of the order? No. In fact, the order is so vast that it includes various kinds of disorders are included within the order. This is fascinating. This is amazing. This is so beautiful to understand and see. And then when we understand this, there is no alienation. Anatomical order, physiological order, the physical order. Then what? The karmic order. This is also sometimes easy to miss. In our blame game, we are blaming the entire universe. But then there is the karmic order, which is expressed in English as, what is that, reaping and sowing. How do you say that? As you reap. No. As you sow, so shall you reap. Yes. Reap is just a euphemism. It should be weep. Okay? Yeah. As you sow, so shall you weep. That is how it should be. This is how karma catches. A very, very seasoned thief. He can pick your pocket when you're not looking. Or he can be some kind of a, what is that, corporate crime. Hedge fund, very hedgy, and then he can do some gadbad. How do you translate gadbad? Some hanky-panky. And he can do all this. And let us say he can get away with it also. Let us say he does not even go near the jail anywhere because he is so clever. He has got away with it. Yes or no? No, because karma will definitely catch. Why? Avashyam bhavitvat, because it will definitely, it is a law. Ishvara's law. And of course, people who are on the other end of his mischief, they are thinking, this fellow is going scot-free. Look, he has given me instant vairagya by taking away all my savings, and he is going scot-free. How is this justified? It is, we only see a small sliver of time. For Bhagavan, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, 200 years is nothing. Nothing at all. This is small. Just wait. Just wait and trust, because this karma will bite back. There is no way of escaping the karma. Prarabdham ihatu bhujyatam. One has to, this bhogena kshayaha. It is only by experiencing it and exhausting it, it goes away. No other way. The karmic order is there. So the next time something challenging happens, then instead of the first instinct is to assign the blame everywhere. That's why we have what is called the index finger. It indexes all the faults of everybody else. It's because of you. We like to point it, move it around everywhere. And then in times of desperation, it must be me, it's all me. It's neither. It is karma. It is the results of karma. Karma phala. And then, but if we look at it as the manifestation of Ishvara, see, there is a very, very beautiful and important shift that is happening. Because I stop blaming others and I stop blaming myself. This is the first prerequisite for spiritual growth. And the first prerequisite to even enter and listen and benefit from Vedanta class. This is very, very important. Self-blame and other blame, both of them, I'm able to suspend. At least for the time being, I'm able to suspend that. This is a very, very big blessing and a gift. This is something we have to see. Then karma also, people don't understand karma. Karma means results of action here. So the results of action, when I see it as Bhagavan, oh, this is so fatalistic. Indians are so fatalistic. There's nothing fatalistic about it. In fact, it's a wonderful shock absorber. Thank God there is some explanation why this is happening. There is an explanation. Non-verifiable, no doubt, but with my Shraddha, I can understand this, I can assimilate this. And there is some logic also, as you sow, so you will reap. There is some logic. And so this is something which is so beautiful. When we look at this karma and the results of action, then what happens? When there are wonderful things happening, nobody notices. Nobody notices. Only when there are difficult things happening, then only we complain. We don't notice it otherwise at all. But doesn't matter, even that being the case, when difficult things happen, that means what? It is an overdose of Ishvara. More difficulties means I am blessed to have more Ishvara in my life. More challenges, more Ishvara. This, if I look at it like this, then all the difficulties, really speaking, go away. So this is what Ishvara is. The various laws of the universe. And then these laws, I know how to relate to these laws. How do I relate? With respect. It's like when I deal with fire. If I put my hand in the fire, everybody knows what will be the result. I will not have a hand, simple. Hand will go, it will be burnt. And then if I tell the fire, why did you burn me? Poor fire, what will it say? I did not burn you, but look at my hand. It has all melted. You did burn me. Yes, I burned you. Then why did you burn me? My nature is to burn. You put your hand in it and then you got burnt. This is how we deal with the laws, with tremendous respect. In fact, we call them laws, but actually we see them as various deities. We see them as minions or helpers of Ishvara, or Ishvara in the form of various elements, elementals, bhuta and bhautikas. We see them as Bhagavan, various forms of Bhagavan. That is why, and we see that these functionaries who are divine helpers of Bhagavan are also respecting the laws of Bhagavan. Taittiriya Upanishad says that Bhishasmadvatah pavate bhishodeti suryah bhishasmadagnischendrascha mrityurdhavati panchama iti. Bhisha tasmad vataf pavate. It is as though in fear of these laws, as though in fear, or fear here is not fear, because the Upanishad itself is committed to the removal of fear. It will not cause more fear. So it is as though out of respect. Here the word respect is replaced by fear. It is as though out of respect for these laws, for Ishvara, that the wind blows. The wind doesn't go rogue, it blows accordingly. It knows, because it is in tandem with Ishvara, It knows when to be a tsunami, when to be a tornado, where to be a tornado, when to be a gentle breeze. All this is part of the law. And how our own irresponsibility makes these elements in a way intensified in their effects that they give us through climate change, etc. That is also Ishvara. And then the Surya, the sun rises and sets, meaning the motion of the planets, the earth moving, etc., is also out of respect for Ishvara. The earth doesn't say, I'm tired of just moving 365 days in a year, how boring. I think I'm going to speed it up. It doesn't do that. Doesn't do that. We are already in a revolving earth, rotating earth. Doesn't change. And so the appearance of the sunrise and the sunset is predictable. If you look at the meteorological prediction, it will say tomorrow's sunrise, something it will say, 6:52 a.m. To the second it is predictable. Sunset, moon rise, moon set, and the tides, when will it be high tide? When will it be low tide on the beach? All that is predictable. Out of fear of Ishvara, out of respect for these laws, all these functionaries behave according to their script. Agni, Indra, the ruler, the king of heaven, all of them, they have their portfolios, they have their scripts, they behave accordingly. And even Yama, Lord Yama, who makes everyone run, he runs at the thought of this. Dhavati, Dhavati means runs. Why does he run? Because runs means jumps actually. Jumps. Because it doesn't go Lord Yama does not come chronologically. First 102-year-old, then 99-year-old, then 78-year-old. Does he come like that? No. There is a jumping. 102, and then 2, and then 5, and then 56, and then 99. There is the jumping. That's why Mrityuhu Panchamaha. Panchamaha means the fifth one in the order. Panchamaha has also another meaning, but that's not the meaning here. Panchamaha means the one who does not belong to the Veda Bahya, the one who is outside of the Veda. But that's not the meaning here. Panchamaha, just chronologically. We have, what is that? Vataha, Vayu, and then Surya, second, Agni, 3, Indra, 4, and then death, 5. All of them are in service of these laws. It's just so beautiful. Very, very nice. And then, why is this mentioned? Why does the Upanishad want to give us this darshan of Ishvara as manifest in the form of all these laws? Why does the universe want to do that? It is precisely so that I clean up my act and I am also equally reverential of these laws. I have to learn to live firmly in the Vyavaharika Satta. Before even visiting the Paramarthika Satta, Vyavaharika Satta, I have, because this is the place of give, take, transactions. This is the place where I act out, where I act and act out. And then then I apologize, and then I act out again, then I do this, then I do that, I enter into relationships, and then I separate from relationships. This is all what I do. This is the everyday life. In fact, this is something I need to know how to live. But some scholars of Vedanta, they skip this Vyavaharika Satta entirely. They just talk about the subjective reality, and then the ultimate reality. They skip this entirely because of what we are about to see. The third order of reality, which is what? I see it, therefore it must be there. Whereas the Vyavaharika Satta, the interim reality or the empirical reality, the transactional reality, it is there, therefore I see it. Do you see the difference? The third one is what? I see it, therefore it must be there. Very, very interesting. So this third order of a reality is a distorted personal projection. The Jiva says, if Ishvara can project, so can I. What is the ingredient of Ishvara's projection? It's completely a dispassionate projection. Ishvara has nothing to gain from that projection, nothing to lose. It is in fact the clamoring of the jivas that causes the projection to come. That is the explanation we give. And here, in the third order of reality, what are the ingredients of the jiva's projection? The ingredients of the jiva's projection, the passionate projection. Passion is the ingredient. Passion means lot of feeling, too much feeling in fact. Rajas and Tamas, Pradhana, and then we have this is the projection, and because of this projection, living in this bubble of this projection, this is what converts the Vyavaharika Satta into an intolerable world of suffering. The benign projection of Ishvara is converted into samsara by who? By us. By the jivas themselves, this conversion takes place. And because of this conversion, there is suffering. This is what we have to absolutely understand. If I live in a personal bubble of my own thoughts, my own ideas, and I'm convinced it is correct, this is something which is the projection, my own projection from what is called the unconscious mind. Unconscious mind means I'm not conscious of it, simple. That's why when the anger comes, when the fear comes, when the sorrow comes, one is blindsided. Where did this come from? How did this come? Why did this come? I thought I was okay. Suddenly what? There is an invisible trigger. And because of that trigger, something happens. There is a small explosion. Like the pressure cooker exploding. Too much pressure has built up here also. The emotions have not been worked through, not been released. When I was small, I went to the neighbor's house. She came in very distressed, this auntie. So I went to see what had happened. And the pressure cooker in her kitchen, poor thing, had exploded. She was cooking dal. And the kitchen had a fresh coat of yellow paint. Everywhere yellow, 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 yellow. And not only that, the lid of the small cooker went and stuck on the ceiling. This is how I suppose the expression so and so blew their top came from. After seeing this only, this kind of thing only, they must have come up with this expression. And I watched. And I said, how did this happen? Too much pressure built up. You know, appliances in America are no fun. Everything is just 100 times inspected and everything is enclosed and nothing ever goes wrong. No fun. They're very boring. Yeah. Very predictable. And really, if you want to learn Vedanta, come to India. I'm telling you, it's a really different experience. So then, this is the third order of reality. My own personal projection, and whose ingredients are what? The Bhagavad Gita will simply say raga, dvesha. What is raga? Strong preferences. What is dvesha? Strong prejudices. This constitutes the unconscious. And the preferences and the prejudices are not a problem by themselves. Only when they become extremely stubborn and they do not allow me to live in peace, then there is a problem. As long as I manage the desires, desires are manifestation of Ishvara. But if the desires take the driver's seat and manage me, then we have a terrible problem, a very difficult situation. This is the problem. This is in fact the raw material of what is called the unconscious mind. This is why it is called the unconscious mind, because as the child is growing up, it does not have the brain power. Its brain is not developed. Its emotions are not developed. Its language is not developed to say to somebody, stop hurting me. Don't do this. Don't laugh at me. I'm small. I am indefensible. I don't know how to help myself. I am dependent on you. I trust you. Don't do this to me. The child doesn't know how to say that. The child is dependent on the caregivers, and the child has to make sure that they take care of it. So accordingly it will adapt. Even to caregivers that are not doing their job, it will adapt accordingly. What will it say? It will say, oh, they look sad. Let me make them happy. Let me jump on the table and do a silly dance. They will laugh and then they will take care of me. This is the child's thinking. And so, all the pains and the hurts of childhood are not processed in childhood because they cannot be. It is beyond the resources of the child to process these hurts. Where do they go? Suppress, 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 press, press, press. Overtly the child is smiling. And then, this is how it is. That's why we say, do not put the child in school at least until it is 5 years old. Because the unconscious is what develops from 0 to 4 or 5 years. But in India and some other places, what happens? There is a pressure. Oh, the child has to learn quickly, quickly. Whose pressure is it? It's not the child's pressure, it's the parents' pressure. And so what do? There's all kinds of kindergartens, KG for short. Upper KG, lower KG, all these things. Even before the child weighs 1 kg, they put it in kg. And the child thinks, I must not be loved. They're sending me away. Why? What's wrong with me? The child doesn't think it's the parents' problem. The child internalizes everything. They're sending me away. They don't want me. Something must be wrong with me. Oh, but then, I should just be very happy. I should pretend to like this place that I'm going. So it will continue to smile and cope and smile and cope. Only after it becomes an adult, it is ready to process the hurts as an adult. Usually when one is in a trusting relationship, like a marriage, a close friendship, etc., etc. Then only the pressure cooker blows the lid. Because finally there is somebody you can feel safe enough to feel unsafe. Oh, what if I don't have any friends? What if I don't have any close friends? What if I'm not married? I'm just at the ashram. The ashram also is a wonderful place to process the unconscious. Happens. And everything comes out. And that is when one has to take responsibility for one's emotions, because one is not a child any longer. I should be able to see that these emotions are frozen in time and place. This is the pratibhasika, the third order of the reality. The emotions are frozen in time and place. And because the emotions are frozen in time and place, I can recognize that they are from a long time ago. Here too there is a law. It's even though we say unconscious and I'm surprised each time I'm angry, but if we do a psychological analysis, if one goes to a therapist, the therapist will point out, oh, I find that you have a pattern. There is a pattern. And what is the pattern? The pattern is, given these situations, that is when you are triggered. This is the pattern. And this is something to rejoice. Oh, I have unlocked the key of the anger, of the pain, of the sorrow, of all these things. I have unlocked that key. This is very, very a congratulatory, a self-congratulatory moment when I am able to look at my own mind dispassionately, even with the help of another. Maybe a friend or a therapist or a teacher who will be able to tell you that, yes, to help you to see that there are certain patterns. This is something wonderful. Patterns means what? Ishvara. It is no longer my pain. It is no longer my anger. It is no longer my sorrow. Now I am able to see the psychological order and revel in this psychological order. What does the psychological order say? Given this background, and we'll just take a hypothetical background, given this background of neglect, this child will grow up to have these kinds of issues. Trust, fear, so many things. Avoidance of commitment. All these things it will have. This is a law. Now it is no longer my pain. It becomes Ishvara. My mind has been Ishvarized. This is something wonderful. This is how to get a kind of an inner space between oneself and the workings of the pratibhasika satta, of this raga, dvesha, preferences, prejudices, unmanageable ones, and the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is a blessing, it is a prasada of Bhagavan, it is Ishvara Srishti. Otherwise the child will not be able to live. It cannot survive the pain. It is too small. So Mother Maya just puts a lid on it. Later on, when the time is ripe, then you can look into it. Then there'll be lots of time to look into it. The unconscious is Ishvara Srishti, it's a blessing. So the inner child is also a blessing. It's Ishvara Srishti. It's a blessing, it was there, and it's a blessing that it is coming out right now, because it is making me closer and closer and closer to Advaita, non-duality. It is not allowing me to split inwardly between the adult and the child, between the one that wants to do the right thing and the one that always wants to do the wrong thing, between the rebel and the rule follower. All these things. There is a synergy. I am able to be the adult with practice and with this insight What do I have to do? I have to be the adult and be able to look at this child not with hatred, not with neglect, but with compassion. This is what we mean by self-compassion. This is what it is. Compassion towards this little one who did not know any better and who is throwing a tantrum. It is very tempting to give this child to somebody else. In fact, that's the reason many people get married. I'm sick of this one, take. I'll put it in your lap. Not a good idea. Why? Because they will also put their children. You have one, they have 10. Okay? They will also give you their children to babysit. In the beginning, it will be, oh, how cute. Your inner children are cuter than mine. This is called honeymoon period. It does not last. Does not last at all. After that, back to basics. You have to take the child back and you have to raise this child. Oh my God, I hate it. I can't handle it. That is where prayer helps. You can give the child to Bhagavan, few for a little while. Bhagavan will hold it. Nobody else will hold it. Why will they hold it? You also can hardly bear to look at it. Why will they hold it? Why will another person take care of your inner child when you yourself have neglected it? You have to earn back the trust of this inner child. You have to earn its trust back and you have to help it integrate. You can't get rid of it. Ishvara Srishti. You have to help it integrate so that it is freed of this pain and sorrow. You are able to embrace it. First you negotiate with it and deal with it. You say, you know what? Just not now. Same thing you tell your own child. It is getting ready. You see, you recognize the signs. The little fists are clenched and the eyes are closed. The mouth is getting ready to open. Where? In front of the toy shop. All because you said you can only have one toy. You recognize the signs of a tantrum. And you want to avoid that right in front of the toy shop. So what do you say? Not now. Later. Next time I'll give you what you want. Or maybe for your birthday. Not now. And then perhaps the child complies. Okay, fine. Let us go home. Same thing you have to do with the inner child. You have to gain its trust enough to be able to say, not now, I'm in the middle of a meeting. I can't be melting down. This meltdown is not going to happen right now, please. You have to negotiate. Then what will it say? Okay. In the beginning, it will not say okay, because you haven't earned the trust. You have said, yeah, I'll be there for it, and you haven't been there for it. It is very clever. It knows. And so what will it do? It will say, no, I'm coming right now, whether you like it or not. No, I have work to do. I don't care. That's why you have to earn the trust of this inner baby, this inner child, and you have to say, you know what? I will definitely sit with you. Yeah, right. That's what you said last time. No, I'll be with you. So we have to learn to be with the anger, the sadness, the fear, and all other difficult emotions objectively, dispassionately, by seeing it as a beautiful and infallible manifestation of Ishvara's order. The grand guru of Adi Shankaracharya, whose name is Gaudapadacharya, writing the Karika, a kind of a commentary on the Mandukya Upanishad, addresses this. The ancients knew all about this. It's just amazing. It's not true that Vedanta doesn't look at emotions. It does. It does address all this. He says that, he gives some advice which is to be followed during meditation. But I think it is such a wonderful advice that one can follow it at any time, whether one is in a meditative state or in a non-meditative state, also it applies. Laye sambodhayet chittam. Chittam means oneself here. Laye means when I have to do something like meditating or I'm doing a task, but tamas overpowers and there is laya. Laya means sleep or some kind of a feeling of why should I do this? This kind of a feeling when it comes, sambodhayet, call yourself back. Be alert. Do what it takes to call yourself back. And then, so that is one kind of an obstacle in meditation. It is called laya, sleep. Even without you knowing, suddenly the eyes close. That's why we say, that's why Lord Krishna in the 6th chapter, in the 5th chapter says, Samam kaya shirogrivam dharayam achalam sthiraha. Keep the head, neck and back in the single straight line. Difficult to sleep like this unless you're a horse. Okay? So, but usually the human sleep means the head goes down, down, down and then gone. Going, gone. In meditation, this is called laya. In everyday life, the not wanting to do what needs to be done, that is laya. I'd rather go off to sleep. I'd rather do something else. I just don't feel like doing this. Laya. Then the second obstacle often we encounter in meditation is called vikshepa. We all know the meaning of vikshepa now. Projection, distraction. So many thoughts crowding the mind. Vikshiptam cha shamayet punaha. When you find the mind distracted, bring it back to the present task. Here he is talking about meditation, but it can be for any other thing also. Then he says, Sakashayam vijaniyat. Know that the mind is always with the unconscious. Kashaya means sludge. Yeah. A kind of a decoction is called kashaya. When you have to make a bitter tea, so you put 1 part neem and 4 parts water and then boil till it becomes 1 cup. So the strength of the neem is all in this 1 cup. And that means it is a what is that? Concentrate. So the concentrated emotions here, not diluted, just concentrated emotions which are difficult to handle are called kashaya. Sakashayam vijaniyat. Know the mind to be along with the unconscious. Sampraptva na vichalayet. Don't start stirring into it and saying, where did this memory come from? Who treated me badly because I have this kind of a feeling? What exactly happened? This is not going to lead you anywhere. First of all, you don't remember. What's the use? Observe it, watch it, let it pass. Every emotion, even though it feels interminable, it is very, very fleeting. You just have to allow the tsunami to pass, the volcano to pass, the tornado to pass, whichever metaphor you want to take. You just have to allow it to pass. And then also he says, Naswadayet rasam tatra nissango prajnaya bhavet. So it's a difficult memory. Just watch it until it passes. And then in meditation there are also pleasant memories. Even in life there are pleasant memories which I find distracting, because of which one lives either in the past or in the future. And then don't start enjoying the present memories, because that becomes like a daydream, or it becomes another kind of a distraction in meditation. Nissangaha. Nissanga means asanga, uninvolved. Be uninvolved. Prajnaya. With this knowledge, be uninvolved. This is how we need some inner space between me, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, and the Pratibhasika Satta, which is what? Not just Mithya, it's Mithya within Mithya. Double Mithya. Mithya means dependent reality. This is not even there to depend on anything. Doubly dependent, non-reality. And so I have to wake up. The Upanishad gives a wake-up call and tells us to overcome this pratibhasika and to live firmly in Ishvara Srishti. How to do that, we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.